What's that noise? What's that noise? Hello, dear friend. Do you hear that? Whoa, that's spooky. If you know where that noise is coming from, you know where I am. It's Saturday, 12 noon. I want to share with you today this marvelous little book that I found by a guy by the name of E.F. Schumacher. It's called A Guide for the Perplexed. A Guide for the Perplexed. The most exciting philosophical book for ages, according to the Daily Mail. And he is the best-selling author of Small is Beautiful. A tiny little book. It's only 150 pages or so. And who is this guy? E.F. Schumacher. He was an economic advisor to the National Coal Board from 1950 to 1970. He was born in Germany. He's a famous statistician, according to Wikipedia, but I'm just getting this off the front of the book here. And he has a lot of accolades. He was a Rhodes Scholar. So he was educated at Oxford, of course. And he was awarded the CBAE in 1974. He died in 1977. So he was born in 1911. So he lived for 66 years, passed away rather young, I guess. He was awarded the Commander of the British Empire. Commander Schumacher. Okay, well, he's got all these accolades. I won't go into too much detail, but he was a real economist, journalist, progressive entrepreneur, president of Britain's largest organic farming organization, a director in polymer chemistry companies, on and on and on. So this guy, Schumacher, is obviously a very intelligent man, was a very intelligent man. It's nothing more enjoyable than to read a book that is written by somebody that is a lot smarter than I am. And I want to share with you something from it. It's kind of like, it's not really done in chapters, but it's just done in little mini sections with Roman numerals on each section. So I want to share with you from section 4 on page 44. And just a sample of his writing. He starts off with this book, and the main idea that he promotes in the first part of the book, I've only reached up until page 50 or so, is he's telling us about the 4 different types of consciousness. He's talking about the most basic, which he calls mineral, kind of like in a rock, a stone, and then something that has life, like a plant. That would be the second stage. And then the third stage would be something that has consciousness, which would be animals, right? Our pets, animals, dogs, cats, cows, sheep, they have consciousness. And then the fourth level would be self-awareness, which humans have, where the individual can understand who they are in relation to the universe, which would be, as far as we know, reserved for humans. So that's what he spends a lot of time talking about in the first part of the book. But I want to share with you this a section, and I'm going to just read a part of the section and tell me that if it jumps out at you as it did for me, because I think it's pretty powerful writing. So here we go on page 44. The degree of integration, of inner coherence and strength, is closely related to the kind of world that exists for beings at different levels. Inanimate matter has no world. Its total passivity is equivalent to the total emptiness of its world. A plant has a world of its own, a bit of soil, water, air, light, and possibly other influences, a world limited to its highest biological needs. The world of any one of the higher animals is incomparably greater and richer, although still mainly determined by biological needs, as modern animal psychology studies have amply demonstrated. But there's also something more, like curiosity, which enlarges the animal's world beyond the narrow biological confines. The world of man, again, is incomparably greater and richer. Indeed, it is asserted in traditional philosophy that man is capax universi, capable of bringing the whole universe into his experience. What he will actually grasp depends on each person's own level of being. The higher the person, the greater and richer is his or her world. A person, for instance, entirely fixed in the philosophy of materialistic scientism, denying the pardon me, denying the realities of the invisibles, and confining his attention solely to what can be counted, measured, and weighed, lives in a very poor world, so poor that he will experience it as a meaningless wasteland unfit for human habitation. Equally, if he sees it as nothing but an accidental collection of atoms, he will needs agree with Bertrand Russell that the only rational attitude is one of unyielding despair. It has been said by Gurdjieff to his pupils, your level of being attracts your life. There is no occult or unscientific assumptions behind this saying. At a low level of being, only a very poor world exists, and only a very impoverished kind of life can be lived. The universe is what it is, but he who, although capax universi, limits himself to its lowest sides, to his biological needs, his creature comforts, or his accidental encounters, will inevitably attract a miserable life. If he can recognize nothing but struggle for survival and will to power, fortified by cunning, his world will be one fitting Hobbes' description of the life of man as solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. And so I know this is a little bit hard to get into the feel of what he's talking about without having the preamble of the first 40 pages. But again, what he's talking about here is that the level of the experience of life that is available. You start off with a rock, and it is inanimate. It has the lowest level of existence, and then you go up to the next level. Plant. A plant has a very rudimentary, basic life experience. Very simple. The earth, the soil, the sun, and its limited space where it exists. Pardon me. Then you go to animal, where it has consciousness, it has an awareness of its surroundings, and on, as I mentioned already, the idea of self-awareness being the highest level. And so he expands upon that, and he talks about the world of humans and as opposed to the world of animals. Whereas if a person only deals with their lowest forms of experience, that is just survival, the basic necessities of life, then they have a very poor world, a very rudimentary experience of life where it's just a struggle for survival. And indeed, many humans throughout history have experienced this type of existence. But he is moving towards promoting an idea of a greater experience of life that is possible for people. He goes on, he says, the higher the level of being, the greater, richer, and more wonderful is the world. If we again extrapolate beyond the human level, we can understand why the divine was considered not merely capax universi, but actually in total possession of it, aware of everything, omniscient. And he gives a quote here from Luke 12, verse 6. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 farthings, and not one of them is forgotten before God? If we take the fourth dimension, time, into consideration, a similar picture emerges. At the lowest level, there is time only in the sense of duration. For creatures endowed with consciousness, there is time in the sense of experience. But experience is confined to the present, except where the past is made present through memory of one kind or another, and the future is made present through foresight, of which again there may be different kinds. The higher the level of being, the broader, as it were, is the present. The more it embraces of what at lower levels of being is past and future. At the highest imaginable level of being, there would be the eternal now, Something like this may be the meaning of this passage from Revelation 10, verse 5 and 6. An angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven and swore by him that lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. I'm not sure if that's King James or not. I think it is, or modified King James. That there should be time no longer. So we're told in Revelation that there will be a time when there will be no more time, just an eternal now. And so I really like what he's bringing together here in this early part of the book, the idea of the capability to experience and appreciate life in all its fullness, and how this is, he sections it out into different capabilities of our our reality, capabilities within human, but also capabilities within animals and lower order forms of life, and so on. And so the effect that it ends up having is that it encourages the reader to strive to experience this greater experience of life, and not just to be solely concerned with the elementary aspects of life, the rudimentary aspects of life, of just eating and living and existing, so to speak. And so I really like what he has to say, and I'm looking forward to the rest, because I like the way he presents his idea in a step-by-step fashion. I don't know what his purpose was for writing this, but it's certainly philosophical in nature, and I like the fact that he references these other atheistic type of Bertrand Russell as an example, and counters them with his explanation of the potential for a greater life experience. So far, I'm very delighted that I found this little book at the thrift stop, at the thrift store, and I'm really looking forward to getting through it. So I just wanted to share that little passage with you, and it reminded me of I was looking. Janice Cortez was posting, and I saw her Facebook post, and to see the appreciation of life, the appreciation of the beauty of life, of traveling and being connected to the beauty of one's surroundings. And it really reminded me of this passage as I was reading it, that we have this opportunity, and some people take advantage of that opportunity, like Janice. So in case she might see this, I don't know if she'll see this video or not, but I'm inspired by her travels, that she shows where she is. She shows the beauty of the scenery, the beauty of the ocean, and the trees, and all that kind of stuff. And so that's really quite remarkable to see. Later on today, I'm hoping to go for a walk in the park, and I'm going to try and bring my gimbal, do a little sharing of that beautiful space that I like to go to, hopefully at least once a day or once every second day, but I try and get out there every day, and so I'd like to share that with you as well. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that I am working on a new book, and I'm going to try and make at least 2 or 3 videos on it. Not a lot, but it's because it's such a short book. I'm sure that there's going to be some material in here for a few videos. So this will be video number 1, and then I'll have at least 2 or 3 on this particular book by this brilliant individual. I don't know where he came from. Never heard of him before, but anyway, E.F. Schumacher. Yeah, lived from 1911 to 1977. So we'll go from there. And wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day, and that you are spending time with people you love, that you're happy, and that you're healthy. So God bless you. I love you. We'll talk to you again real soon, okay? Have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.